Good morning. At the Miracle of America Museum in Polson, Montana, we'd like to tell you about some of our gun display this morning. And I'd like to start out, this is just one of our many gun displays. Anyhow, I'd like to start out with this poster that people comment on every day. They say, wow, you could get a .22 rifle for $4.95. You have to realize this is a 1935 poster. So what was $1 worth in 1935? A man might have to work for a whole week to get $1.50 wages. So it's relative. But nevertheless, we got a rifle to go with it, the same model rifle that he's holding up. We've got one of the 3 shell boxes. They're extremely hard to find. And so we're constantly in a collection mode trying to improve. As we move along, here's a .22 pistol that was my father's. It complete with the holster, the box, and the directions that he brought it with. And I inherited that. We have you might think this is a brown bear, but it's not. It's a black bear, a cinnamon colored black bear. I shot that with my first deer rifle, which is down the way. But he'd been eating our pears from our pear tree, so he was a delicious. We ate it, we smoked the hams, delicious. So we didn't waste anything. As we go along here, we see different experimental weapons, and then we come to our evolution of firearms display here. At the very top is a handheld cannon and mace combination. It was basically a warfare weapon. And then coming down, we have the extremely long barrel. It was called a rampart or a wall gun. This happened to be a matchlock. It was kind of like a wick or a punk for fireworks. And when you pull the trigger, that went up to the little flash pan, which ignited the powder through the hole, the flash hole, and into the main powder charge to send the bullet out. And then we have the wheellock, this real fancy one here, and the powder horn to come with it. The wheellock was very futuristic of the day and very expensive to make. Then we came down, they had various locks. They were always trying to improve the weapon system. Mostly warfare, but then the rich people had used them for sporting as well. Then we come on down to the flintlock, the percussion. The flintlock was mainly used during the Revolutionary War, and the British wanted to take the guns and the lead away from the colonists. And the Founding Fathers realized the right to keep and bear arms could keep us from tyranny. So that was written into the Constitution of the United States of America, the Second Amendment, the Bill of Rights. There were people that wouldn't sign the Constitution until they had a Bill of Rights protecting their rights. All right, then we have various other guns and powder horns. Powder horns are very decorative. What we call accoutrements, things that are reloading tools and other things that would go with them. In this display here, probably my favorite display in the museum, we have a Model 95 Winchester carbine. It's in front here. It took me several years to find that after we'd acquired the carving. The carving was very special to me. It was carved by a Native American named John Clarke. He was half Scotch, but at the age of 2 he had scarlet fever. He became a deaf mute, but he didn't let a handicap hold him back, and that's a key to this, the educational part of our display when we have the school kids. I say, you know, each of us either has or may develop a handicap in our lives, and we should never feel sorry for ourselves and just quit. Remember what John Clarke did to carve this beautiful carving and say, you know, I can do something to benefit society. So that's kind of our message here. But we've also, in this carving, we've included the study items that an artist would look at and say, oh, that's how I need to carve that. So in the very background, we see a grizzly bear trap, actually a skull that was caught in that very trap. And we see the canine teeth broken off. because a trap bear would be enraged and trying to bite at the trap to get loose. We see the hunter's shell belt, the hunter's hat, and so forth. So this is one of my favorite displays in the museum. And this chart here showing the Winchester different cartridges, very collectible. This is not in the best of condition, but sometimes you need to take things as you can get them. Something perfect may never come along, and a lot of people relate to something that's got a little wear and tear on it because they've used it. Then we have a collection of mostly Winchesters here. The third carbine in is was my first deer rifle. Probably about the age of 14 or 15. I was always taught to use guns safely. I got my only elk I'd ever had a shot at with this one shot. I got that bear. I got my biggest white-tailed deer. We were a meat-eating family, so nothing ever went to waste. Then that works into our law enforcement display, or supporting the law enforcement. This flag was flown at the memorial service of a slain officer. So remember, the right to keep and bear arms carries a tremendous responsibility. And if you act carelessly, there are people watching that would like to take those guns away. If you misuse them, people say, let's take those guns away. So we need to act responsibly to keep our freedoms, our rights. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to the Miracle of America Museum.